Hey Taurus, this is your reading for August 3rd through the 16th. And I'm going to be leading with the Good Earth, or the Good Tarot, sorry. The Good Tarot. I did an unboxing on this deck on my channel a few days ago. If you want, you can go check that out. But this is the first time I'm going to be working with this deck and actually doing a reading with it. So let's just get right into it. Messages for Taurus. Taurus, please. You guys have something on your mind? Taurus. Messages for Taurus. Taurian energy. This deck is brand new, so it's a little trickier to shuffle. We'll do 2 more shuffles and see what the cards want to talk about. Messages for Taurus, please. Ooh, okay. Okay, so 3 cards that came out. So this one, the 2 of Pentacles, typically in tarot, it's like a balancing or juggling energy, can be indicative of decisions. With the Good Tarot, this talks about kind of having, it's a balance, not in terms of like juggling, but more of like balancing work and play. Like the mantra for this card is like, I enjoy what I'm doing because what I'm doing is actually fun. So this speaks about work and play. And then we have, wow, this is nice energy coming through, kind of. So the Page of Cups, so an openness with this card, openness, exploration, particularly in the heart space. It's a youthful, childlike energy. And then the 9 of Wands, I can't remember what they allude to in this meaning. I just went through and I'm getting to know this deck, so forgive me. I might pull for this card and just read for it because it does have a little bit of a different take than the standard energy of just like, typically with the 9 of Wands, we think a final push type of energy. This one is a little different. Caution, uncertainty, reevaluating circumstances. I need to stop, wait, look around me before proceeding further. My sense of uncertainty is my wisdom telling me to bring illumination to my situation. Allow insights to arise and guide me before I take my next step. So questioning is good, uncertainty. So with this is like a very open and kind of exploratory energy, right? And then with the uncertainty of this, there is a little bit of a call to like openness or playfulness with your situation before proceeding further. And it's funny because on the split we had the Page of Wands. I swear that this is like my card in this deck. This like showed over and over again when I was like getting to know this deck. This is interesting. So we have 2 pages coming out. Page of Cups, Page of Wands. That's all about, like with this one, it's like creativity, breeding, inspiration, and then with the cups, with that openness and like that childlike, like there's a sense of wonder coming in with this, or maybe feeling green with that uncertainty here. There's it can kind of be read two ways. It's with the uncertainty, it's like going into something like you feel unprepared, or you're kind of at the mercy of the situation, or there's actually a need to step back here. With this reading, all over this reading though, with this card showing, this card is all about abundance in unexpected forms. It's the Five of Earth, which we typically see as like a lack energy. But in this deck, it's not focusing on lack. It's shifting focus to where we do have abundance. With this reading, this is a call to step back and find value or appreciation in not so much like the stereotypical like senses of abundance in your life, but like abundance in terms of fun, play, whimsy, even opportunities for growth, a kind of an urge to step back and find appreciation for other areas of your life or other opportunities for growth or abundance that are non-traditional, like money, right? With the work and play aspect of this, and then the childlike wonder of the pages, this is an uncertainty, a card of uncertainty, taking a step back to really look at things. The Five of Pentacles, that's finding appreciation. And then the Hermit card, yeah. The Hermit card with the Ten of Swords, that is a new way of thinking. This is a timeout card, big time, like see other lock behind that door. So this is definitely urging you guys to take a step back, reframe your perspective, particularly relating to being open and receptive to new ways of thinking, new like means of appreciating what's in your life, what you have going for you, finding new ways of looking at things centered around appreciation for the things that bring you joy, having abundance in an emotional sense, in a creative sense, things like that. So let's look at this Nine of Wands, this uncertainty here. This take a step back to reframe your appreciation. Tell me about the Nine of Wands for Taurus, please. Nine of Wands for Taurus, please. Ooh. Nine of Wands for Taurus. The Hermit. Yeah, that's that take a step back energy. Major for Virgo. Virgo season might be highlighted, which is coming up pretty quick here. Like, you know, end of this month into next month. Five of Cups. Anything else? The Hierophant. There's your major there, Taurus. I'm just kind of getting a sense of like with this, because this is like missed opportunities. This can be contracts and obligations. We have the card of collaborating underneath that. And with this coming out, this is opportunities to work with people in collaborative energy regarding your commitments and obligations or contracts to people. I'm kind of getting what you look up to as well. things not working out. We have a very sad Jack Skellington here. He's like, oh whoa, right? On his spindly tower there. This is a card of grief, of loss. And with the Four of Cups, that's kind of like mourning lost opportunities or contracts or offers, right? This has to do with soul connections, partnerships, Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, work and play as well. If this was like talking about work or creative ventures, we're talking about like things not panning out in the workplace. Like, I don't want to say not getting along with people, but it's like maybe not meeting eye to eye with people. I want to clarify a little bit more about these lost opportunities, but it's almost like things going awry and like focusing on that within these soul connections. I just heard peer groups. But there is a balance here between work and play, like specifically with this card, and then we have the Hierophant, which is like the card of like obligations and things like that, contracts. But this is like working together and kind of feeling at a loss for losing out. But there is a silver lining here. Yeah. These are both kind of like guarded or held back energies. And then underneath that, we have a High Priestess, which is a card of intuition. There's a lot of intuitive energy going on here, especially with the Hermit too. This is about reframing your perspective on some of these things. So let's look at the Five of Cups. I want to see why at a loss here. This could also look like just taking a step back to regroup after some things fell through or didn't quite work out the way you planned it to, or an opportunity was lost or rejected here. With the need for balancing play and work as well, it could be a call to kind of, with that caution and that timeout energy, kind of reformulate your perspective to recapture some of that optimism, that joy, that fun, right? You might be like in the thick of something and you're really like struggling to see the joy in something. There's definitely a held back energy here though. Tell me about the Five of Cups. Yeah, this is also about reframing your ways of looking at things. New ways of approaching situations or viewing situations. Tell me about the Five of Cups for Taurus, please. The moon showed twice now. The moon. Yeah, this to me is just screaming a need with the forlorn looking moon there and Jack Skellington being like, right, there's a sense of, and then the Ten of Swords again. That's kind of brewing beneath the surface. That's either deep in the emotions or, you know, that's how you really feel. Or just behind the scenes, there's this kind of issue coming up here with how you're viewing things, outdated ways of thinking, right? There's a need to move past that and get things kind of clear here. Move past, and it's looking like focus on why things didn't work out the way you wanted them to, particularly in like soul connections, right? It doesn't have to be romance, it can be anything, but there's an outdated way of thinking here. And a need to move past that into this like more balanced work and play mode. Yeah. Totally. Here's that Hierophant again. So loss of opportunities within contracts. You may have also felt slighted by soul connections or what have you in terms of like your morals or your beliefs here. But this could also look like loss of a contract or an opportunity or rejection of some kind, and struggling to kind of move past that, or letting it affect your, kind of ingraining that into your way of viewing the world or your mental perspective moving forward. And there's a need to like let that go, like move past that way of thinking. There's loss, grief, and sadness surrounding some kind of foundation that was being built, or just a general take on building with others in solid foundations. This does look like work though. And then the Lovers, major for Gemini. You might have Gemini in your chart. Being a Taurus, this is your next door neighbor, astrologically speaking. This is about decisions. Maybe some of you or someone around you, I'm guessing this is you, made a decision that led to like a loss of an opportunity, a loss of a contract, feeling rejected, a loss of an opportunity to build with people. There was a decision there, and there's some grief surrounding that, some sadness and loss with this Five of Cups. So let's look at the Two of Earth, because that to me is returning to the joyful state, the playful state, integrating that, you know, that work fun balance. Let's look at this Two of Cups, or Two of Earth, please, for Taurus. Some of you just might need to walk away from something and just take that time out that the Hermit is kind of urging you to do. Eight of Wands, Eight of Candles. That is a moving energy. Some of you are actually moving. Yeah, some of you are actually moving somewhere or moving away from something, and you're really grieving the loss of like what could have been with this opportunity, or you're like, maybe a situation came up with your housing and you're like, I have to move because I can't afford to live here anymore. This suggests movement. It can also, to me, represent like that moving away from that focus or outdated way of focusing on like that loss of pleasure or the grief surrounding the loss of those opportunities or contracts. That can be, but this is also just like travel, energy moving, you actually moving. It's momentous energy. And then this King of Cups, which is like gaining the upper hand on those emotions. I'm getting optimism off of this, but it's taking a step back to really regain your control over your emotion in this situation. The Wheel of Fortune and Justice. Three of Swords, there's some pain here, which we do know because there's loss, grief, and sadness associated with the Five of Cups, right? But Justice and the Wheel of Fortune, it will be made right. It will be made right, and especially if you have to intentionally back off of this situation, you know, or whether that's just happening and there's growth. But for me, there's a sense of distancing yourself from this situation, or you have been distanced from this situation. You have to work through these emotions here. But the Wheel of Fortune, that's good things coming, and balance, right? Balance and fairness. Tell me about this King of Cups for Taurus, please. With the Two of Earth. Tell me about this King of Cups. Some of you, it is travel. That's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So some of you, this is love. and just staying optimistic. There was a 10 of Cups with the Star and a Knight of Cups, which looks like just moving forward, optimistically trusting that you will find that relationship, the kind of end all be all for you. This is like very methodically, like very Taurus like, not Taurus like, but that young earth energy, plugging forward, right, to regain that control, right, moving on from something. Again, for some of you, there's that timeout energy. This to me also looks like regaining that emotional stability to move forward, to build from a healthy, stable place. Because we have this Three of Pentacles again, but this is a solo energy. You know, this looks like getting your emotions right and getting into a healthy place where you can build a really strong, stable foundation with others. It just looks to me like whatever you guys were in or were working with, it didn't quite work out. There was some focus on that. It was affecting you. There's a need to kind of take a step back, regain your focus, your control over your emotions, especially move past the ways of thinking, which could have been very ingrained in like whatever situation you were a part of. But this is doing it kind of alone and moving forward and having a more stable foundation to build with. Yeah, this is a lot of worry about your stability and your legacy here. There's a call to reframe that perspective. With this coming out and this, how their heads are down, it's definitely saying take a step back, reframe. Again, for some of you, this was something that just didn't work out, a contract, a work obligation. Could have been family with the love cards and relationships that are showing, right? But this is a focus on you. Possibly gaining some clarity here regarding other actions or your confidence moving forward with that play aspect. But this is a strong place to be in, emotionally wizened and in control, stable, abundant. Yes, also building harmonious, stable foundations that are balanced in terms of that abundance, right? Because the Five of Pentacles that showed is all about reframing what does true abundance look like. It's not just that physical stability. There's more to it than that, right? Reframing your perspective. Look at how she's gazing at that lantern and she's like taking a step back, looking at the beauty of it, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that, Taurus. I wish you guys all the best in your process here. Until we meet again, take care.